Hey guys, Victoria here and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I'll be sharing all my tips and tricks on how you can speak English more fluently. And first of all, here's a disclaimer. I'm not by any means implying that I speak amazing English. I know that I still have a lot of room for improvement, but I'm comfortable speaking the language and I actually love English a lot. Not that I don't love other languages, but you know. Anyways, recently some of you guys have been asking me for some tips on how to speak English more fluently, and I figured why not I compile all my tips and tricks into a video like teaching you how to speak English more fluently. I hope that this video gives you a sense of direction if you're looking to improve your English. So number one is to have the correct mindset. I think that mindset is very important when it comes to learning anything at all, and you have to have the correct mindset. Get rid of all those negative thoughts. Don't beat yourself up just because you cannot speak English as well as other people can, and don't tell yourself that you suck in this language forever. You have to tell yourself that if you try hard to improve this language, you'll be good at this language one day. Don't make yourself small just because you can't speak this language that well, because chances are you're better at other languages. And also when you're speaking English, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because by making mistakes you will learn, so do not be afraid to make mistakes. And now that you have the correct mindset, we'll proceed to number two, which is to always keep your ears open. Since birth, we learn our mother language by listening and we speak by imitating what we hear. So to improve English, you must do the exact same thing. You have to always keep your ears open and pay attention to the way other people speak. For example, your teacher or your friends who are good in English, listen to the way they speak. And alternatively, you can also listen to radio stations like Hits FM or Fly FM. You can listen to the news in English, and you can even watch YouTube videos like the one you're watching now. Just kidding. But honestly, watching YouTube videos is a really good way to improve your English without putting an extra effort. It's like you don't have to make watching videos a task. You can watch videos on the things that you like. Maybe you can watch DIY videos, fashion videos, makeup tutorials, like whatever you want, and you are like learning English in the process. You just pay attention to their choice of words and you're subconsciously improving your English. So number three is to actually love the language. This is very important if you want to improve your English. Like if you hate something, you can never do it well. So you have to actually love English. And how can you love English? Well, through English movies, songs, actresses, actors. I know a lot of you guys are K-pop fans, so you know all the basic Korean words, and that is really good. And I was once a Japanese anime fan, so I know all the like basic Japanese words like I'm home and wait and good morning and stuff like that. And my point is that it takes close to zero effort to learn something if you are interested in it. So a really fun and non-tedious way to improve your English is you can go onto Spotify and start streaming some English songs, and if you come across a singer that you really like, you can start stalking them and you can find out about their family, their pets, what they like, what they hate, and you are improving your English in the process. So it's like a win-win situation. Personally, I got into English songs when I was around 14. I started liking Taylor Swift and I listened to like her entire album, and I believe that that helped me improve my English too. Number four is to write daily diary entries, and this is something which I used to do a lot back when I was in year 2 or year 3, and I actually reread my diary entries recently, and I wrote about like the fights I had with my friends and the exams I sat for. And let's just say that I didn't have good grammar, but when I read back those diary entries, it made me realize that I have come a long way and I have improved a lot. Maybe without all those diary entries and without all those practice, my English would not have improved this much. And I still journal from time to time. I love writing down my thoughts, and I think that if you want to speak fluently in English, writing daily diary entries is a really good way to practice, because when you're writing something down, you have time to think about what you want to write. Unlike when you're speaking with someone, you have to actually come up with the words really quickly, so that's why sometimes you'll panic. But when you write down, you can pay attention to your choice of words, your grammar, to your vocabulary, and you can actually think before you write. So it's a really good way to improve your English. Number five, the answer is in the question. This is not something that I discovered by myself. It's actually something that I found out recently when I was planning out this video. But basically, you can find the answers from the question. So for example, if someone asks you, does he something something, your answer will be yes, he does, or no, he doesn't. And if someone asks you, is it something something, your answer would be yes, it is, or no, it isn't. So questions are like mirrors. So when you reverse the question, you will get the answer. I feel like this is a really good way to avoid making mistakes when you are speaking English. So number 6 is to actually speak the language. If you don't speak to your friend in English, you can try speaking to your teacher, or you can find a speaking buddy, like a friend who wants to improve his or her English as well, and you all can practice together. And an alternative way is to think in English, but I know that that is easier said than done. You think in your mother language first. And singing along to English songs is another easier option that you might want to consider. And I think that actually speaking the language is very important if you want to improve your fluency in that language. When you do have the opportunity to speak English, just do it. Don't be afraid to speak English, and don't care too much about your mistakes. Don't be afraid to make like grammar mistakes. And this might mean that your sentences won't be like grammatically perfect, but that's okay. If you focus on speaking fluently instead of correctly, you'll still be understood and you'll sound so much better. The more you speak the language, the more comfortable you get with it, and those are all the tips I have for improving fluency in English. I think that it is completely possible to master this language if you put in the hard work. And English is honestly such a beautiful language, and I hope that you fall in love with this language as you're trying to improve it. And I wish you all the best in your journey to improve your fluency in English. I believe that you can do it. That's all for this video. I hope you found all these tips helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.